And I'm going to record. And hi, Tatra. And I'm going to now start our story time. Hello, everyone. This is Amertat. Now, this is Amertat, your wandering storyteller. And today we have a new whole series of stories, which we are calling, the name of the story today is Lost in the Circus. Well, let's begin. In this little town, there was a boy named Jacques. And Jacques' favorite thing in the world was when the circus came to town. Every summer, these big trucks would pull up, stop, and in the middle of a field, they would create a circus tent. He would love to go over there and watch them. They had these big horses that would pull huge stacks of wood. And then they had an elephant that would help lift up these big towers. And then around this towers, they would put this canvas to create like a little house. And it had a tent like this. That's why they call it a big top. You can see one behind me there with the flag on the top of it. That's what they call the big top. And then they had a little Ferris wheel, which you can also see behind me with the little cabins, and they would go around in a circle like this. How can I do this? We'd go around in a circle like this. Yep, come back. And he loved to be in that Ferris wheel, especially when he got to the top, because from the top he could look all around. He could see so many miles around him when he was at the top of the Ferris wheel. And every year he would watch the circus come, and then he'd ask his mommy and daddy to take him to the circus. So they would go, they would watch the lions and jumping around, the little pet dogs doing tricks, the beautiful, beautiful girl on the trapeze that would go swinging back and forth, and the really strong guys that would grab her. She would fall. She was so worried that she might, but no, they always caught her just in time. And then, of course, there was the clowns, and the favorite person of all was the magician. He was the one who pulled a rabbit out of the hat and all sorts of wonderful things. And so every year he would watch the circus come. He would see the circus with his family, and then the circus would pack everything up in the trucks and go off down the road. And sometimes he would sit there and look. I wonder where those trucks are going next. I wish someday I could go with them. I could run away someday and join the circus. That'd be so much fun. Every year he watched the circus come, build up the tent, take down the tent, and go down the road. Well, this year was different. This year he was getting to be pretty big. He was getting strong. He learned how to ride horses. He was really a good horseman. He said, maybe I can go ask the circus guy if they want to hire me and take me with them. But he was still a little too young. His parents would never allow that to happen. They went to the circus. They watched the circus as always. But instead of clapping and yelling and screaming how happy he was, he sort of felt sad because he wanted to be part of the circus, not just someone who watched the circus. And it was a very, very hot day. And his mommy and daddy went back to the home, and he said, Mom and Dad, can I stay here and watch them take down the tents? I want to do that. Sure, Jacques, You can stay. Just be careful you don't get hurt by any of those animals. No, don't worry, Mom and Dad. I'm perfectly okay. But it was really a hot day, so hot. And he watched them and watched them take down all the things, and the tent came down. The elephants took back the big pieces of logs, and they lifted them up and put them in the truck. And he was getting so sleepy. He said, well, there's a nice, he found inside a truck a lovely little bunch of hay. He said, I'm just going to take a little nap. So he crawled into one of the trucks and he fell asleep. The next thing he knew, the truck was shaking like this. And he looked outside. It was dark outside. Oh my gosh, I'm inside the truck. He started pounding on the door. Let me out. Let me out. But nobody could hear him. They were going down the road very fast, so he couldn't jump out of the truck. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What are my mommy and daddy going to think? They're going to be so worried about me. But you know, he thought, maybe I'm in the circus truck. And maybe I've now joined the circus. Oh, this is what I've always wanted to do, is be in the circus. All right, I'll just go to sleep here and see what happens tomorrow. And he fell asleep. And when he woke up, the back of the truck came open and sunlight started to pour inside. And standing in front of him was the man the magician who used to pull things out of the hat. Well, what are you doing here, little boy? Oh, well, I didn't mean to, sir. I fell asleep inside your truck. Well, that's very good, said the magician, because we need a little boy just like you. I can put you to work. You want to work, little boy? Yes, yeah, of course. I don't mind, but can I call my mommy and daddy because they're worried about me? No, you're going to do what I tell you to do. And he pulled the little boy by the ear out of the truck. Now you go fill up those water buckets and you go feed them to the pigs. They had a whole family of little pigs there. In the circus, they were the cutest things you ever saw. They would go run around in circles and do little jumps, and the little baby pigs would crawl on the back of the mama pig, and they would go, and everybody would laugh and laugh, and they put these little funny hats on the pigs, so they looked like little kids, actually, little piggy kids, right? So he had no choice. Jacques had to go and feed the pigs and take care of everything. And they never let him out of his sight. In fact, they tied a rope around his foot so he couldn't ever run away. He thought one day, and this went on for about a week, he had to do everything they said, and they were getting ready to come to another town to do the circus. But he said, I better go home because my mommy and daddy are worried about me. And so he said, I'm going to untie this rope from my foot. So he lifted up his foot, and he looked around, and he found a very sharp rock, and he took the cord of the rope, and he started to try to slice through it with the rock, and he just about got it free. He was just ready to pull it apart and break free. And just then the clown came in. You know, clowns, they're so happy all the time. They got this big smile on their face, right? And they got this little red nose like that. Have you ever seen a clown like that?
We did.
Yeah, you have. And so he went inside. The clown came in and said, clown, he wasn't funny. Not this time he wasn't. He said, "What are you doing, kid? Oh, you're trying to get away, are ya? Well, that's not going to work with us." And he grabbed the boy up like the shoulders like this, and he put him over his knee and he started to spank him. "Don't you ever try to get away again. You're ours now." Well, he didn't cry. He was too strong to cry, even though he was getting spanked really hard. And the clown took another rope and tied it around his other foot. "Now you're going to come with me." And he pulled the rope, and Jacques had no choice but to come to the clown. "Today, you're going to have to clean up all the horse poop." And so he took him to where all the horses were. He gave him a bucket and a big shovel, and he had to shovel the poop into the bucket. But they were coming to this town, and they were putting up this new tent. And he had a little moment to sit and watch from the inside of the tent how the elephants would come and lift up the big pillars and put them around, and then the curtains would come around. And just then the magician came over to him. He said, "Listen, Jacques, you've been a very good boy. I want you to work in the little house outside there, and you can help the man who's selling all the tickets, and you can put them into the little box to organize the money. Can you do that?" Jacques said, "Okay, but I really want to go home to my mommy and my daddy." "Well, if you do this just right, we may let you go back home, okay?" "Okay," he said. And there were so many people this day. This was a big, big city they were living in, and the people were lined up way around the block to come in and buy their tickets. And they were coming in, and he had to work very fast. There was so much money coming in. He had to put the $1 bills in one bucket, in one little pile, and the $5 bills in another pile, and the $10 bills in another pile. And he was counting out all the money so carefully. And then when the circus started, he thought maybe he'd have a chance to get away because nobody was watching him. And the rope that he had tied to his foot, they had to take off so he could work inside the cabin. And so just as the circus was starting, you could hear the drums coming from the musicians. That was the sound when the circus was going to start. And he got outside the door. He looked around. Nobody was watching him. And he started to walk very slowly out toward the street. And then he didn't see anybody around. He started to run. But just as he started to run, the circus dog, a big bulldog, came chasing after him. And the bulldog got right in front of him and growled his teeth together.
We can do it while we're making.
Okay, said Jacques. "I'm backing up. I'm going to go further away. Don't you worry." And the bulldog kept walking him back. Okay. Nice doggy. Nice doggy. Don't hurt me, doggy. Don't hurt me. And so he got all the way back into where the circus tent was, and the clown grabbed him by the shoulders. "That's what happens when we give you a little bit of freedom, is it, young man? Well, now I'm going to tie you up again." And this time, he didn't just tie his legs up. He tied him to a post with a rope around him so that he couldn't move even. And he had to stand there the whole time and watch the whole circus. And usually when Jacques got to see the whole circus, he was a happy boy. He used to love to watch the little dogs come out and jump on each other's shoulders and do little tricks. He used to love the trapeze flying girl from one side to the other side, and the men would catch her just in time. But this day, he just looked, he just stared. He didn't even care. He wanted to leave the circus forever. And he didn't know what was going to happen to him next. And I guess you'll have to wait till Friday to find out what happened to him next. Because our friend Jacques is stuck in the circus. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna stop for a moment our story time, and just be sure by next time you come back and see us at Grandpa Storytime. So let's see how I'm gonna do this. I've got to go here.
We'll talk to you in a minute.
And for those of you, my lovely, lovely grandchildren, we're going to take your questions. Okay?
All right.
So, hi. I can turn the microphone on. Now you can speak to me. Hello, everyone.
Okay, go ahead.
Ta-ta.
Hi.
I was a little late.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. You'll have to catch the video on the YouTube later.
We were too busy playing with these.
Well, you're having fun. That's good. This is a story about Jacques, who got lost in the circus.
I heard some, but not really a lot.
That's true. Well, any other questions? I think I lost Finley and Isaac. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Bye. Love you.
Bye.
See you Friday.
I should say thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Edith.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.